Hey guys, it's Mike at Narks Lifted Customs. Today we're headed out to Jared Bowen's place out at Old School Sheet Metal Repair. You'll remember him from the post the other day for the podcast. He has started a new project car that we are going to do basically a follow the build series on. I don't really know how to word it yet. I don't know what name I'm going to come up with, but we're going to follow Jonathan Ehrmann's Koolaid build. It's a new Edge Mustang getting a big inch LSX engine, 2 turbos. I mean, guys, this thing is going to be nuts. They're talking like north of 1,800 horsepower, and just, this thing's going to be crazy. So I hope you enjoy it. Later in the video, we're going to have Jonathan on and let him kind of tell us a little bit about the build and what his plans are for the car. All right, guys, got a guest today, Mr. Jonathan Ehrmann.
Yep.
Wow, I got it right.
Sweet,
yeah. He is the owner of Koolaid, the new Edge Mustang that you're probably, if you're on the YouTube channel, you're watching the video right now and seeing the pictures of and things like that. And it kind of sparked me. I've been wanting to follow a build for a long time from basically like when somebody gets it through paint, and then follow him on into the racing of that car and putting it together and things like that. So we're going to start that series with this car and him. I appreciate him letting me do this. I don't know if he signed up for all that, but it'll be fun to watch it go from basically like a race car shell to, you know, driver or racer. And then, I mean, well, I guess it probably a street car. You're that kind of guy. You'd drive that, right?
I'm going to drive from my house here every day, bud.
That's awesome. Awesome. So we'll get into kind of the setup on it a little bit. We'll get into kind of where you found the car, how the name came about, and things like that. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to get my notes out here. So how long have you been, while I get these pulled up, how long have you been kind of in the car scene, car racing, all that kind of stuff?
Well, so I got out of college, and I moved to Springfield, and I lived there for 3 to 4 months. And I moved to Joplin, and when I moved to Joplin, I needed something to do, so I went and bought myself a 2012 Camaro.
There you go.
And I had it for a little while and kind of tinkered with it, and I ended up putting a big cam in it and install, and end up trying to do that deal. And then I moved down here. Me and my buddy Chris Harper hooked up, and then I just got the real itch to go fast.
You got ate up with it. And
oh yeah.
Yeah. Now he has what's the Warhawk? Yeah. That car is insane.
Yeah, we found a few issues that we're going over right now. We're going to put some better intake valves in it and just some weak stuff.
Man, that's awesome. So how fast has that car been?
It's been 469.
God, that's
at
really
55.
Jeez, that's fast.
So we're hoping to go 50s this year. That was on a lazy 11960 foot. So
dude, that's nuts. That is nuts. And I mean, that car, you guys have been everywhere in that car. I mean, like, it's raced all over the place.
Yeah, we tried to gives us a chance to travel and do other things.
Yeah.
We shed roughly 200 pounds out of the car this off season.
Holy shit.
So
that's a bunch.
Yeah.
Like in terms of a car at that, I mean, because obviously that's fast. You're not going to pick up like, I mean, like, is that like half a tenth? Is that a tenth? I mean,
I would say 200 pounds is probably good for half a tenth.
Dang, that's so fast.
If we get our 60 foot down where all these other guys are, like around 10, you know, we could probably pick up another half tenth.
What's nuts is like at that level of car, you know, going from like a 105 60 foot to a 119 60 foot makes huge differences on the on the end of the time slip. Because like you're talking about, like half a tenth is a bunch to get, like upgrade and to be faster.
Yeah, I mean, it we're switching the car from E112 to alcohol to help with the whole weight and get a little more power out of it. So
that's awesome.
All these other guys out there going 440s, we're doing it in a heavy car, so we need what we can help them get.
Right. All right, so let's talk about your car. Enough about his. Everybody can go watch his stuff. So new Edge Mustang.
Yeah.
So
it's 03. It's so I haven't ran the VIN at Ford, but the title says SVT, so I presume it's a
Wow.
Cobra. So, but don't hold me to that.
Yeah.
Because I haven't ran the vid at our Ford store yet. But.
Yeah. That's awesome. So, I mean, let's start back 2 steps. Let me get these 2 questions out, and then we'll talk about the car stuff. Okay. So, is this like your first real? I guess this. I mean, it's not going to be. Well, if you're going to drive it all the time, street car, but like.
So it's going to be a race car that I drive on the street. I'm
There
not going to sugarcoat it.
So is it like is this your first time to go down that road, or have you built kind of a race car before?
So this is the first thing that I've ever built that's going to be fast. Like,
that's awesome.
My Camaro was slow. It was fun, but it was slow.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
It's slow in relation to the people you hang out with now.
Yeah. It went 11s. That's like a 9/8 or something. I don't know.
Man.
It's slow.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Sounded good.
Well, and I mean, that's a great street car because air conditioning,
It had
quiet.
heated seats. It was nice.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You get in that car and go anywhere. So, is that have you driven many fast cars? I mean,
I've drove Chris's car around the shop.
Okay.
But, no.
As far as like making passes, the Camaro's probably been your fastest
It's probably
one?
been the fastest thing.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So this new car is going to be drastically different than what you've had in the past. I mean, you've been around race cars, but
yeah, I'll probably wear a diaper the first time I get past. I'm not gonna lie.
hell yeah, dude, I would too. Shit, wear one watching you. All right. So when you kind of decided you were going to do this, did you want to build a new Edge Mustang? Did you want was it, or you were just looking for like a race car that was fit your budget and kind of fit what you wanted to do?
Well, so I originally had set out to do the easy route and build a Fox body, and then Travis Ball at Ball Metal Fab put the kibosh to that. So he was like, no Fox bodies.
He said he's not building anymore. He said Derek Kelly's got the only one I'm messing with.
Well, at that time, I don't even think Derek was one of his customers. I mean, this
oh, wow.
Like 3, almost 4 years ago.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
So he's like, yeah, there's too many Fox bodies. So I was like, okay, no Fox bodies. So I set out, and Chris was like, well, my car's heavy, which it is. It's 3,300 pounds race ready.
Jeez.
So I was like, well, what the fuck am I going to build?
Right.
And then I happened to be scrolling around, and then Chris sent me this message, and he's like, go look at this car. So I looked at it, and it was right around my budget. It's kind of ugly. I'm not going to lie. It's still ugly, but I was like, well, it's got a cage. It's got a 25.5 cage. That's what I want.
Yeah.
You know, and
because the goal the whole time was to go fast with this car.
yeah, and I like to look at the new Edge car, so I was like, all right, well, let's go check it out. So we drove to Weatherford, Oklahoma. I don't know if you know where that is, but if you drive to fucking Oklahoma, just keep going.
Oh, my God. So it's like the other side of Oklahoma City, right?
Yeah, it's like 2 hours past Oklahoma City. It was,
my God. You're in
6 or
like
7 hour
Colorado
drive.
or some shit at that point.
Yeah, so we left at like 7 that morning and didn't go home till 9 or so that night.
God, dude, that's crazy.
So actually, Jonathan Cornelison owned the car, and I didn't know who that was at the time. We showed up, and I was like, man, I've seen his car somewhere. Well, he owns a Rusty Hook car, and I don't know, he's been on the street. I was like, well, I've been damn.
That's cool.
The nicest guy you'll ever meet. So he had just crashed his car and was kind of hurting for money, and we showed up, and the car was in a little bit rougher shape in the pictures, but that's not really anyone's fault. So,
yeah.
You know, we talked a little bit, and we made a deal, and actually worked out for Chris because the guy had some mini tubs there. He sold him real cheap too.
That's awesome.
That he didn't need. So it wasn't a complete waste of a trip. So we loaded the car up and we brought it home, and it sat in my garage for a little while, and I did some part shopping, and I think my first big order was from Racecraft.
Yeah.
I ordered what did I order? Oh, I ordered a coilover conversion kit, and they just so happened to be having a sale on wings, so I bought a wing.
Sweet.
And I think that was the only thing I was excited for.
Everybody else was just like the kind of wing that everybody's doing now, where it comes straight off the bat. Oh yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, so I did some shopping around on Facebook. Ended up finding a semi-low mileage 5.3. I went and picked it up and put it in my garage. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do a stock block, single turbo, small little, let's go race right now deal. And then that didn't happen.
Then it went completely sideways, and like we're going to get into the setup in a minute because like it's going to be gnarly.
Yeah, it's pretty rowdy.
Pretty gnarly. So, so you kind of told us where you found the car, that whole story. Why the name Koolaid? Where did that come from? I mean, obviously everybody likes Koolaid. We're in that age group, but
it's just an inside deal between me and a bunch of buddies that everyone started sipping on the Kool-Aid. of some stuff. And so we thought that was a pretty perfect name. But
that works. That's cool. So what are the goals for this car? Like, what's like a ET goal for this car?
well, first year out, I'd like to go 4. I mean, obviously the car's gonna have the power to do it and the suspension, and but I just want to get comfortable in it. I'm not gonna rush into anything because there's no point in spending the amount of money I've spent just to go crash this thing because I'm trying to get in over my head.
Right.
But I think a realistic goal is to go like a 490, 480.
Damn, dude, that's awesome.
While I'm trying to get comfortable.
Once you get wow, and then turn it up from there.
Yeah.
That's nuts, man. Considering, like, I mean, you work at a Dodge dealership, like, all of these crazy Jeep Gladiators were parked behind right here. I'm sure all the power of those things, and then you go into that car to go home in.
I tell you what, it's a different experience when you drive like a Viper. They're V10, and the torque on them is just crazy how it comes in. It's pretty.
Yeah, because I think that car makes like 400 something foot-pounds at like 2,800 RPMs or something ridiculous.
It's stupid.
That's awesome.
It's fun, but ultimately the car should have it should be right in the mix with everyone else around 440s, 450s. I mean, it's built with the correct components to do what everyone else does. I mean,
man, so how do you go from like just a simple 5.3 650 700 horsepower setup to, I mean, we'll talk about the setup in a second, but how do you make that decision? You're like, nope.
That's the way it was going, man. So I'm sitting over here and I've got all those parts in my garage, and I've got I probably got like $8,000 and everything going on at that time. And then everyone like on no preps fucking running 4s, and it's like, well, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I'm not gonna drag this thing to the track and run.
So
what? I mean, what's it like late 6s, low 7s car with that kind of power and weight?
No, I think it'd be like a mid-5 car probably.
Damn. That'd be cool.
So that just wasn't going to cut it to be competitive. And I'm not building a car to lose. And anyone that tells you they're building a car just to go have fun, it's not. They're lying to you.
They're not building the car you're building to do that with.
Like if I just wanted to go have fun and play with the car, I would just slap a 5.3 and a turbo in it, and that would be fun. And whoever's doing that, you do you, because
that's exactly what I'm doing in the old truck.
Like, I'm not talking shit on nobody.
Burnouts and ice cream.
It's just I'm trying to compete at the level with all these other guys, and that's what we were gonna do, and just run like a stock block class. Well, then it just kind of spiraled out of control.
I can only imagine, especially like in the group of people and parts availability that you have, and like the group of folks that I've seen you with and around, like those guys are very fast. So like if you're going to build a car for that, it makes it easier because then everybody's kind of like they're at that level. You're not hanging around like 600 horsepower guys and trying to make 2,000 horsepower. You know what I mean? And those guys trying to give you tips and
I've definitely surrounded myself around the right people, and I've ex-nayed the people that don't need to be there, and you grow. The older you get, I'm only 25, and the older you get, the more you realize you can't please everybody. And be
I don't even remember 25. That's awesome. All right, so in the notes, essentially, I said, let's talk about cubic inches, trans, rear axle, weight, target, horsepower goal, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to let you run with all of that information, and you can be truthful or you can do whatever you want with it. So, there's other guys out there that are, 4-rotor, 6-rotor diesel.
Yeah, I'm not one of those type of people that's going to hide. If somebody asks me, I'll tell them. So this is the first time I've said anything like publicly, but it's a Brodex BR3 headed solid roller 427 built by Mueller Performance. Ryan Mueller, he's my dog. He's the go-to guy for us for engine and anything, and so it should be pretty rowdy. It's a little like 11.5 to 1 compression. No, it's 11.8 to compression.
Dude, that's awesome.
It'll be on alcohol. It's twin turbo S480s from Forced Inductions.
Holy smokes.
So Travis did all my turbo kit, and Travis is our fab guy at Ball Metal Fab. He's taking really good care of us, and he does fantastic work for anyone that doesn't know. Yeah,
I'm going to link all these people's pages, but Travis's stuff is like next level.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
He helped me out, and he did a great job on it. And he did it while he was moving shops, and he's taken really good care of us. And
God, that's cool.
So he's a great asset to our program. Ryan's a very, very good asset to our program. And then Tuned by JP, obviously, he's been over backwards always to help us. He's always done us right, and the guy's so full of knowledge. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Hensley's building the transmission. It's going to be a second gear leaf, turbo 400 with PTC bolt together converter.
Sweet.
So Dusty Bradford's got that all spec'd out from PTC.
Man, that's awesome. So it'll be a 2-speed 400, right? And then
it'll be a 3-speed, but with second gear leaf valve body. So if we
Okay.
get on I still haven't decided if I want to spend the amount of money it takes to put a close ratio through 3-speed together.
Oh, I got you.
But we have a 2-speed valve body in Chris's car, and it works flawlessly.
That's awesome. So, man, we're gonna go super technical here for a second, but give me the benefit to that, like in a term that I can understand. Like, I mean, I'm kind of knowledgeable, but so when you say second gear, like you're gonna leave in second and run 2-3.
Yeah, so it's got like a 2-4-8 first gear.
Oh,
and
yeah,
and a 1-4-8 second gear and a 1-0 third gear.
Mm-hmm.
So you get on these really sketchy surface, you can put it in second gear and leave, and at that point it's pretty much just like a power glide.
Yep.
It's geared the same.
That makes sense.
But if you got to put a really tall gear in the rear end to run the first gear in a turbo 400 from what we learned.
Yep.
Someone else could tell you different. But so we figured we could gear the cars lower, which my car's got a 373 rear gear, and Chris's has a 391, and his car crosses the stripe about 7,600. We could probably go a little bit lower in his car and be fine.
Yeah.
So.
What rear axles in the car?
I have an 8.8.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's all. Like anything done to it, or are you just doing what I'm doing?
It's everything you can do to an 8.8. I mean, I've got
awesome.
strange engineering axles, 9-inch ends, all the billet parts I can find for it. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to blow this thing apart, and whenever I do, I've got a fabricated 9-inch ready to go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'll just get it here and get it in.
I know Chris is a small tire guy, right? Will this be a small tire car?
Yeah, so 275 radial, which I think we're going to do a lot less of the no prep racing this year and do a lot more radial because we have a lot of fun doing that,
Yeah.
We like to go somewhere where they show times. Obviously, we'll go to Outlaw Armageddon because that's just what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
We like going and watching, if anything.
Yep.
But we like to see times, Because being a crew guy in his car right now, I crew chief for him. So whenever he goes down the track and there's a no time, I can tell the car went fast, but I can't tell if we improved any,
Right.
And when those numbers pop up and you went faster than you've ever went, I mean,
that's pretty awesome.
There's a great feeling.
Yeah, especially for the guys that are at the other end. He knows it was probably faster. He can probably most likely feel that. But on your end of it, you're like, hell yes, that worked. The suspension worked, or whatever when you turned it or adjusted the tuning side of it.
Yeah, I do most of the tuning. I do the front suspension and the laptop stuff, and then Chris and
that's awesome.
And our dog Eric, that kid goes everywhere with us. He helps us out. He kind of gets the grunt work, but he puts his heart into it. And he's a great kid.
That's cool. So, dude, twin 80 millimeter.
Yeah, they're 80/96s.
God, that's insane.
And if that's not enough, I'm gonna order 88s. Don't worry.
When you're bored with this setup, you'll just go up.
Well, there's future plans for another car, but I'll leave that for another day.
God, that's awesome. Yeah, we got to get through this car first, and then we'll go on to the next one. So, all right. So, obviously, you've had the car for a few years. You've been gathering things like that. Is there a race that you're trying to hit? Is it I want to race this car at Outlaw Armageddon because it's September, right?
August. Second week of August. No, this year, I'd say I get married in June. So.
Oh, congratulations to her.
Yeah, right. More like congratulations to me. I'm marrying up, man.
Yeah, I'll do.
So,
we all do. We're all car guys. I don't know how we end up with these girls.
She, when we first got together, she liked going, and then not very many other women went, so she kind of dipped off, and then she didn't. She's handled it really well, me being gone just about every weekend of the summer. So she definitely deserves whatever she wants.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But no, I get married in June, so there doesn't leave us much time, and I don't want to rush Jared on the paint jobs. There's no point in it because there's so much left to do. It's going to take us a month to wire the car the way we want it wired. And put it together. So I'm hoping to have the car out late September,
Oh, cool. Yeah, just in time for our street car shootout?
Yeah, so if the car's done, it will be there because we definitely enjoyed coming. I mean,
that was a fun day.
We had fuel pump troubles in the finals against Zach, so we didn't get to run the car, but I think we're going to come back and try and win that deal this year.
That's awesome.
We had a great time. We loved it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. We raised like over $4,000 for the kids. Our goal for this year's $10,000. So I look forward to pushing that a lot more as we go through the summer and stuff. And
I think our favorite part of the whole weekend was the trophies made by the kids. Those are fantastic. We put it on the shelf in the shop, and I think that's one of the most prized possessions we have is that trophy that little kid made.
Right. I think that's all we're going to do for trophies this year. I really do. We're going to, because you probably don't want to get into a whole bunch of this on the podcast because I haven't done any of the charity work. We haven't done any of that with the podcast stuff, but the kids out there rotate, so it's always kids can only stay like 45 days.
Yeah.
So like we could have the boys of like summer class do a set of we could do all this kind of stuff. So I'm excited. They've got new people that are working out there that are on board for whatever we want to do. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to go nuts this year with that stuff. So cool. Anything else you want to tell anybody?
All these guys that have put time and effort into my car, I can't thank them enough. If you could go like their page or follow them, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Yep. All that stuff will be in the
Mueller Performance builds our engines. Kevin Hensley builds our transmissions. Travis Ball at Ball Metal Fab does all of our fab work and chassis work for us. Jared Bowen paints my car. I'm sure he's going to paint Chris's car this go around. He owns Old School Sheet Metal Repair, obviously, if you're listening. And J&A Granite supplies our fuel. Tuned by JP does our tuning. I mean, Brodex actually sponsored me in my heads.
That's awesome.
Ryan put that deal into it and made it happen for us.
That's cool.
Red Tide Canopies helps us out. And then we have our own personal shop called Harper's Performance where we do a lot of stuff.
Yep.
So we take care of the customers.
Now, Harper's, is it, I mean, obviously you guys have full-time jobs. So is it kind of like the side hustle to pay for stuff?
Yeah, so I don't think, being a mechanic, there ain't a whole lot of money. To be honest.
So, and the thing is, you're taking care of regular cars all day. So, is Harper Performance more fun stuff?
Yeah, so, right now we have a new Z06 that we're fixing that had some issues. We're going to pulley it and stuff like that. I mean,
that's awesome.
We do anything from just, simple pulley swap or headers to we've built full-blown engines.
Yeah. That's cool. All right.
So,
well,
a lot of fun.
I'll link everything down there in the show notes and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, dude. Well, cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, dude. All right, we'll get that turned off.